this lecture, setting up an IAM admin user. Establishing an IAM admin user is a pivotal step in managing your AWS environment effectively. This process is crucial because the admin user serves as a dedicated account with elevated privileges, enabling you to perform critical administrative tasks such as configuring services, managing policies, and overseeing security settings. Without a properly set up admin user, you risk relying solely on the root user, which poses significant security vulnerabilities due to its unrestricted access. Now, if you haven't already secured your root access, I suggest that you go back and have a look at the previous video. Now, the importance of this setup extends to enhancing security and operational efficiency. By creating an IAM admin user, you can implement the principle of least privilege, which limits access to only what is necessary for administrative duties. This reduces the risk of accidental or malicious misuse of resources, and that's a common concern in cloud environments where multiple users and applications interact. Okay, let's begin. So what will you learn? In this session, you will engage in a hands-on exercise to create your first IAM admin user within the AWS environment. This guided walkthrough through the AWS Management Console will enable you to establish an administrative user account with assurance, forming a robust foundation for secure access governance. During the creation process, you will master navigation of the IAM dashboard, input critical user details, and assign initial access credentials. This comprehensive introduction to the interface and tools will empower you to perform this task autonomously in subsequent projects. And upon completing this lecture, you will have successfully configured your first IAM admin user, representing a pivotal milestone in mastering user administration within AWS. This practical experience will enhance your expertise and prepare you for the advanced security principles we'll address in a few later videos. So as I just discussed, we are now going to set up an IAM admin user, which is a critical best practice to minimize the use of the root user. And as we already know, the root user should only be used for tasks that require it, such as billing or closing the account. So once we've set up this admin user, we are going to lock up our root access and store it in a safe place. Now, this guide is based on an official AWS documentation and assumes you have a new AWS account. And to set it up, it's only going to take 10 minutes or so. And the other good thing is it will not cost you anything. It's part of the AWS free tier. Okay, so we first need to create an IAM admins group, which will live under the root user, which we are still needing just to set this admin user up. Once this is done, we were going to abandon, or not abandon the root user, but put it away in a safe place, store it, and only use it if we really have to. So the admins group is a group that will contain users. We do not have any users in there at the moment. And this is the procedure that we're going to follow to do it on the left. So I'll briefly read through it. So in the AWS Management Console, search for IAM, and we click User Groups. We create the group. We enter a group name, and we attach permissions, policies. And the policy we're going to attach is Administrator Access, and select it, and that'll grant full access. And as such there. So that's a great diagram to sort of try and understand what we're trying to do here. We're creating a admins group, and in that admins group we're tying a policy to it, and then later we're going to start putting users in here. First of all, we're just going to put one user in there. So let's go away now to the AWS console and do exactly that. Okay, so I am already in IAM, but if you're not, there's a couple of ways to do it. You could search in the search bar and put IAM and it'll come up. There's countless ways, but let's just go with that one for the moment. And on the left pane, we click on user groups, and we do not have any groups at the moment. So we create a group, and let's call it admin group. We're not going to add any users. We don't have any at the moment. But what we are going to do is tie this first policy that you see here. So you don't have to search for it. It should be the first one in your list. We're going to tie that to this group, such. And then we go down here and create a user group. And up here it says, doesn't like the group name, doesn't like spaces. Let's read that a bit more. Valid characters required. I think it doesn't like the spaces, so put a underscore there. Go back and create the user group. And straight away, it creates the group for us. Now let's jump back to our other screen where we were going through the procedure. And we're going to follow this procedure underneath here, IAM admin user. Quickly read through it. We, in the console, which we are in, going to click users, create user, give it a name, and it will come up with some questions about whether you want console access or programmatic access. We're just going to go with console for the moment, and we can auto-generate a password. And then we're going to attach it to the admin group, and we can put some tags in there if we want, and then create the user. So let's go away and do that. Okay, here we are back again, and we can see our group still there, admin group with no users in it. And that's what we're going to do now, is click on users on the left, create a user. The username I'm going to call a cloud wizard. And we need to provide user access to the AWS Management Console. Okay, you'll notice down here it has two possibilities. One is specify a user in Identity Center, which is recommended. And the other one is I want to create a IAM user, and it says here you would choose this second one if you want to enable programmatic access through access keys, service-specific credentials, or code commit or key spaces. So we don't want to do that at the moment. So I'm going to click on specify a user in Identity Center and click on Next. So you'll see two choices: specify a user in Identity Center, which is recommended, or create an IAM user. Now this is somewhat new, not very recent, but new way of doing things. that is beyond the scope of what I want to show here. So I'm going to create an IAM user. Just to keep things simple, we're going to talk about the Identity Center in another video. So I want to create an IAM user. Even though it says only if you need programmatic access, we're going to ignore that for the moment. And we auto-generate a password. Show the password. And users must create a new password at next sign-in, recommended. Click on that also. And click next. And we're going to add a user to the group, the admin group. Click next. Notice it also attaches a IAM user change password policy or permissions. Well, it's called a permissions policy, and the admin group is a permissions group. And we're not going to put a tag on, but I do encourage you to put tags on most things, especially resources. So let's click Create User. And our user is created successfully. So we now have a console sign-in URL, our username and our password, which I will not show you. Now, if this user is not yourself, it will be emailed to you, but if you're just setting it up for yourself, and have a look at that password. Take note of it. Store it in a safe location and log into the URL that is listed here. So let's do that. I'm going to do it in another window, a incognito window. For obvious reasons, those being I'm already logged in on the other window with our root access, Cloud Wizard. And we sign in, and it comes up with the screen that says you need to reset your password. And what you'll see is when you first log in is it needs a password reset. And I put the old password in here and I put a new password in. And we confirm password change. And we continue to sign in. Of course, we store that password. And here we are. A few things here you can read. Unified search, next, done. And there we are. We're logged in now as admin. And we can see all the necessary services that we need to. Pretty much all of them. Just click on one just to show you. Athena, to randomly pick one. There's Athena. So you now have an admin login. Do not use your root access password. Lock that up. Okay, we're going to go back to our screen. And here we are back here and gone through all this. We've created our IAM admin user. And at the bottom here it says copy the console sign-in URL, username and password, or download a CSV file, and that's your admin user's login info. So that's the one now you need to use. And there we magically appear in our group, a Cloud Wizard. This is now a user that we're going to use from now on to log into AWS, because our root access, our root user, we're going to lock it up. I'm not going to use that. And if we do all this, we will be following root user best practices.